this is a time for us to reflect and reevaluate where we were, what we were doing and how. You know, for me, I was traveling too much. I didn't enjoy how much traveling I was doing, but I was like, this is my business and this is how I have to earn money. So I have to go to these things in order to earn money. And now I'm not allowed to go to these things and I am losing a lot of money. So it's made me realize that all of this is in my control. And if I don't want to do something because I can't make that trip, or I am exhausted and don't think I should for my health, then maybe in the future I will say, no, I won't do that, and I will take a hit financially. It's going to impact how I make decisions, because, you know, we only live this life once, and I'm a very passionate person. I'm very passionate about the industry and about the people in the industry, and I want to spend my time celebrating those people and doing good work that I can be proud of within the industry we work. And sometimes we all make decisions because we're trying to grow a business, or we're trying to be bigger or better. And it's just made me realize, do I need to be bigger or better? And do I not just want to do what's exactly right in this life that we're given? So it's really making me think some deep stuff. And I'm hoping that we all do the same, you know? Factory capacity, we don't take money with us, but what we do take is relationships and pride in enriching the people around us and the people who work for us or with us. So those are the things that I think are really important. So yeah, they're the things I'm thinking about anyway. And I'm really hoping that a lot of brands and big companies and corporations are thinking that way too.
I've had some really positive days and some really negative and lazy days, to be honest. But on the whole, I think this is a really positive time. It's time for us to stop and really think about the way we were working before, and given a chance to make things better and do things in a more environmentally friendly way in the future. I think we really needed some more time to think about how we were going to make those changes. Well, I've learned to listen a lot more. I've been listening to some amazing podcasts, been reading lots, and I've been learning a lot. To be honest, I think I was just so busy before that I didn't really have the time to sit and listen. Always on the run, always heading to an airport or doing something that I didn't feel too good about. And so I'm learning to be much more logical and thoughtful about things, so that in the design process, every element of the materials used or every stage of a process that I'm putting into the design is really carefully thought through, so that we are causing no damage or harm to the planet. I think we've learned a lot from this time. I think we are still learning quite a lot about this and about how to return to doing what we were doing before, but doing things very differently, because we couldn't go on doing things at that speed and at that volume the way we were before. And you know, when we often kind of find solutions to problems and creating our own standards for things as brands, we haven't been very good at sharing the knowledge to our friends in other companies that could actually really make a difference. So there we are talking about sustainability, but we've been keeping our sustainable solutions to ourselves instead of actually opening up and saying, hey, I know a way that we can do that better. Do you want to share some information here? This could be like a fantastic way to come out of this with a much more positive attitude towards producing clothing for the future.
What have we learned? It's a daily learning process. No one is still able to understand how this industry is going to evolve or how the whole market is going to evolve. once this pandemic is behind us or we slowly try to come out of it. But few major learnings are that people are going to buy less, buy what is more important, and buy what is more sustainable. In terms of industry learning, things can be done digitally. A lot of research and work would go into making digital libraries, digital collections, so that you don't put a lot of carbon footprint behind sending tons of samples back and forth. And that is how the industry should evolve once we start moving forward and working on those lines. A lot of industries have changed because of various reasons, and I believe this pandemic would give opportunities for textile industry and for denim to make further inroads into digitizing all our workspaces. From this time, we'll take with us that humankind can be disrupted by a very small virus. So it's about what are we going to take with us. We have to be more and more careful of what we are doing to the world around us, what we are doing to the environment around us. We need to be more sustainable. We need to be more caring. We need to be less destroying of this earth. So there are tremendous things which we need to do, and that is something this pandemic is going to make us understand, and that is something hopefully we take forward with us as an industry, that whatever we do should in some way be better than what we were doing earlier. Those would be the incremental steps. We are not expecting things to have a sea shift overnight, but those incremental steps that if I was doing something yesterday, doing it today should be done in a more better manner, in a more cleaner manner, and hopefully that is something which is followed.
One of the things that I'm finding quite interesting is the way that social media and brands communicating through their social channels, the tone of voice that's changing, and in some cases not changing through this pandemic. And I have total sympathy with the fact that marketing systems obviously are set up weeks in advance to respond to stock that may be available, and they have to pre-plan it, and it may be unavoidable to talk about, here's our trench of summer dresses with florals that you absolutely must be seen in. But it does feel very odd at this time for brands to communicate, please have a look at our shoes that will get you the most amount of likes on social media. It just feels like, who really would be worrying about that right now? Or check out the new neons to be seen in, or these are your essential swimwear items for now. It feels like a huge disconnect with the stuff that people are actually experiencing, which is all about protection and security being probably the biggest underlying values, and just feels a bit odd that brands haven't been able to meet their consumers at a time where they really needed them. And I unfortunately, I think that there will be no ongoing damage for most of the brands going forward. I don't think that consumers will harbour any memory of things that might have gone wrong. One of the things that sort of surprised me actually to come out of this time was that it's given me the chance to revisit some training that I did 10 years ago when I trained to become a life coach, and it's really motivated me to be able to offer free coaching to people that might be experiencing, just with all of the space that we've had to sit with our feelings. For some people that may be uncomfortable, that maybe that's brought stuff up that they aren't quite sure what to do with that, and to be able to offer that to the community, to be able to help people through, just be a listening ear, to be available for people. Being available is such an enormous gift and something that we have as a great commodity right now. I know we can become busy with Zoom meetings, but we can make space at this time. And I think that's the thing that will serve the community the most, is the space that we create to reset the anchors going forward. I think it can be that this time is a really, really good time for brands and retailers to really rethink what their DNA in the marketplace is, or what they want to communicate. It's become so fiercely competitive, all striving to create different or very similar versions of a similar product. And that didn't used to be that way. It used to be that different brands or different retailers in the marketplace actually had a completely unique DNA with a loyal customer base that bought into their particular colour range, their particular style identity. And I think with the slowing down of resources and the slowing down of lead times as a result of what will be the new version of production, it gives us a chance to really streamline and really think about it can be as much as what is the colour palette that is associated to our brand, what is the DNA, the core of what we want to put out and what message we want to put out, what's our look, what are our values, and to really create a completely different DNA and a sense of uniqueness within the marketplace.
What will we take with us? I think this is one of the most important things that we have kind of figured. A realization that life isn't about material things and a constant need to deplete our nature, whether it is to travel blindly or to buy impulsively. It is about doing things in your own way that help and heal the Mother Nature and not destroy it in any way. Also to use this time to find newer opportunities. Like for example, we at Bluehemia, we are turning our already sustainable complete collection that's made from denim industry waste into a virtual fashion show. Because we realized that at this time photo shoots and fashion shows are not possible, so we are turning everything into a virtual fashion show. The models, clothes, the runway, everything is getting made digitally, and it will be sold only after the digital collection is seen. So this cuts down a lot of costs from fashion shows, traveling, sampling process, everything. So yes, thanks to this time, these new doors of technology have opened for us, and very fortunate to have jumped in at the right time.
I hope we'll see a renewed sense of activism, a new energy and momentum to improve our societies and our environment. I also hope that we'll have a stronger sense of community, both on a local and on a global level. There's going to be some really hard times ahead of us, and we're going to need each other to come together to get through it.
What I have learned is globalization could be so fragile. We used to travel a lot and we do international trades, but all in a sudden, everything is stopped. Maybe it's time for us to revisit the sourcing strategy. Should we bring back some of the local productions? And of course, thanks to technology, we can at least keep some things moving during this difficult period of time. After such a massive lockdown, I feel like we are establishing a new way of living. We are more adaptive to new ways of working and different kinds of online platforms and services, and we are also changing our buying habits. So it is not the strongest who survive, but the one more responsive to change.
And can we do all of these things sustainably? Yes, we can. But we can't do them on our own. And we need everybody to jump at the same time and make changes and do things better. But until we start sharing information and connecting with one another and sharing ideas and putting some very imaginative, logical brains together to find solutions, then things will potentially go back to the way they were before, apart from no one's really got any money to start buying more just because of, you know, habit and the way that they were consuming before. So things have to change anyway. So if that's the case, then let's talk about how to make sure that we're providing really good clothes that are made to last and some of those other really important things, so that there's not this ferocious kind of need to buy and spend and have more and collect. And, you know, I feel like those days are gone. I hope those days are gone. So beyond looking good and being able to afford the product that we buy, it's now much more important to think about things like comfort and ease and function, and make product that's right for people's lives beyond just, does my bum look good in this? This has obviously been a very difficult time for many people, but I feel generally positive about things for the future. It was necessary, I think, for us to stop and ask some very difficult questions about the way we were practicing before. And now, given a chance to make those changes, I really hope that the future can be much more positive.
When I look back, I've been questioning lots of things, especially the sustainability term, which we as the whole denim industry have been talking a lot about. I think that we all missed some vital parts of it, the human part, and the real meaning of value and respect. So therefore, I'm in a period of unlearning. Realized that most of the old methods that we've been using will not be enough for creating a real change, a positive impact any longer. I live nearby the woods, and it gives me the chance to spend some time in nature during this beautiful springtime. But I also go deeper, is the term of biomimicry. So I try to redefine most of the things inspired from the nature itself, because I realized that most of the answers, solutions to fix our human problems actually are hidden in the nature. So we need to listen more and learn more from the nature. I also have my ceramic studio at my home, and during this period, if I'm in the mood, sometimes I do lots of trials with different clays and glaze combinations. It's really like a meditation for me, so it's helping to calm down. I think this experience will make most of us redefine what's normal, and then we probably open a new page.
Going through this pandemic, we can see that how dominant the human has become. Look at the reduction of pollution and the positive impact we have on the animals while we have modified our behavior lately. These are all a little bit positive things from the pandemic. But at the same time, we are still so fragile, human life. So we really need to think, to work really hard to protect this environment, the place where we live in. Going through this pandemic, we also, as in many businesses, have to rethink how business can be done actually. Instead of organizing more fair, maybe there's another way to bring people together. Instead of traveling for 2 days for one client's meeting, maybe there's another way to collaborate together. There will be more business activities moving offline to online also. This will give more opportunities to niche players in each business, each sector. Being confined at home, many people now reevaluate if they want to spend the majority of their working time in the office. They maybe want to rethink the essence of life, what makes us happy. Maybe simply spending time with family, cooking, sporting will be more attractive or make us more happy. This outbreak have give us more opportunity to rehearse living differently, I think. I hope we come out of this pandemic stronger, wiser, and more inclined to help each other and collaborate together.
This entire process has taught me or gotten me to realize that it is that people who don't have don't have work, unemployed people, the kind of helplessness they feel when they don't know how are their next few days going to go on. It has taught me that I need to be much more patient. I need to make sure that yes, that at any given point of time, if there is something wrong in the way a person has behaved or worked upon or gotten agitated, that there could be a huge underlying reason, and I need to be sensitive about their issues rather than just try to find out why something that we were planning did not work out. Rather than finding fault and trying to correct the fault, it is more important to trust the person and understand why a person could not do it. There could be some emotional baggage, there could be some helplessness that maybe was too difficult for him or her to share, which led to this kind of a failure. So sensitization, I have to groom myself to be much more sensitive, and I will definitely work towards it. I mean, I read recently somewhere that yes, for the first time we have the cleanest air, but we still can't go out or meet people. We have the most empty roads, but we can't go out for a drive. I think we could live with the chaos and try and make sure that yes, we have our best actions in front of us to make sure that the system stays, the world stays the way it is right now in terms of the environment, but at the same time we can enjoy the treasures of nature, we can enjoy the treasures of humanity in terms of socializing, in terms of meeting people, laughing together. These can't be taken for granted anymore, and I would definitely not want my children in the future to face such kind of a situation. So I hope everyone is safe, and I hope we all come out stronger once we are allowed to start going out more often.
And what I learned from this process, first of all, I'm so happy that I have already started to learn more about sustainability. Well, it's not the generic information. You have to really go deep down and learn more. And sometimes, you know, even sit down and study like a student, your colleague. I'm kind of a college student. And what I'm going to be getting, what I'm going to be taking from this process, being more collaborative, joining forces, learning more from my vendor friends, my brand associates, my mentors, from even the juniors. Why? Because everything is changing. We have to listen everybody. We have to learn from everybody. We're gonna see. And still, what I want to say, stay strong. This too shall pass. Love you. Bye bye.
Oh, and I'll show you a couple of the creative projects that I've got on the go at the moment as well, just to let you a little bit into my world in my studio. So I'm really into pottery, and I've been making things with clay. These are a couple of cups with some indigo yarns inside them, and these went through a pit fire, so I'm quite pleased with those. I've got a really beautiful patina on them. And I acquired this amazing pair of 1920s 501s from Mike Harris years ago, and you can see how completely destroyed and tattered they are. Anyway, just so happens over the years as well, I've been collecting bits of old denim that have been found in mines and stuffed inside walls and things, and some of them have really beautiful salvage on them. And anyway, so I'm going to start to repair this pair of old 501s with all these really old vintage scraps. So watch this space, we'll see what that turns into. I hope something really beautiful.